Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is the Maverick channel. Now before we look at what you're looking at the screen, that's Decentraland loading. I actually wanted to load, but this video is going to cover a couple of things. I'm going to look at an article talking about the metaverse and how it's taking over. Guys, this is not the first time I'm looking at Decentraland. I've looked at Decentraland before it became a thing years ago, and I used it. That's when I bought my first land. That was before Decentraland. Not before it became a thing, but midway before it became a thing, before it became mainstream. So we want to talk about a little bit of Decentraland to see where this is going, to show you how bullish this space is, and to show you that Mark Zuckerberg is really not in control. But before we talk about that, I want to talk about this company here. There's a reason why I want to talk about them. And when you see this tweet here, which says Cosmofolio, this is the Cosmos blockchain. It has this thing called the blockchain interconnectivity. And when you see a tweet like this, showing some of the Cosmos chains, Chihuahua, Cosmos Hub, Akash, Sentinel, these are amazing, Starname, these are amazing ecosystems that are developing. But if you don't see Fetch in this list, guys, no, this is not a complete list. So guys, if you're into finding out this kind of content in the interwebs about crypto, about blockchain, about the financial side of cryptocurrencies, the new virtual world, then make sure you hit that like and subscribe to the Maverick channel, because that's what we do. We bring you that kind of exclusive content. So let us start this video officially. The first thing I want to say, I want to talk about Fetch.AI. This is the company I was talking about that should be in this list. They've recently joined what we call the Inter-Blockchain Communication Protocol, which is the Cosmos way of the Cosmos ecosystem. It's an ecosystem. You have Cosmos hubs, Cosmos zones. You have different sovereign blockchains that can be developed on the Cosmos ecosystem, and Fetch is one of them. And they're not new. They've been building for over 2 years now, a little over 2 years now, and they've been focusing around the Cosmos ecosystem. They use like 3 consensus algorithms. Can you believe that? Proof of work, proof of stake, and decentralized acyclic graph. They have a couple of partners. They've already developed some of the technologies. You can see this map here. I'm going to talk about that and what it means. But you can see Coinbase, Binance, Gemini, Crypto.com, CoinSuper, Corbit, KuCoin, MXC, Bitmax, Where's where to buy FET. The token has a unique kind of utility, okay? Apart from staking and all that, there's unique kind of utility to this token and this ecosystem. But I don't want to focus on tokens, because normally that's why we're here. That's why we're here. But it's the utility of the ecosystem that I want to look at here, because that eventually would draw demand for the token and for the services that are being provided. They have different ambassador programs. You can become a validator, learn more how to become a validator, because it's proof of stake, at least in keeping the security of the network. And this is really a summarized front page of their website, but there's so many other things. You can go to, I guess, individuals. You can look at the teams. You can look at the documents page of their platform, and you can see how much these documents have evolved. It's insane. It's really, really insane. So what are these guys trying to do? You look at this map here. This is something like a Google map. You all know what this is. You've all seen what this is. You're familiar with this, but you're not familiar with these little dots inside here. The purple one, the yellow one, the red one, and so on. Okay, so look at this. To the left, this is Fetch.AI. 11,374 total agents online. So they have these things, the yellow, reds, and so on. They call them digital twins. The technical name is autonomous economic agents. Pretty cool. It's kind of a self-explanatory name, but the mainstream name they're changing to is digital twins, I guess, which is cool because it's easier to use. So let us look at some of these characteristics. There's node location. There's SOEF, which is a simple open economic framework. Think of it as the globe. Humans live in the globe. We interact with all the elements in this globe and this universe, and they keep us alive, well, until we're not alive anymore. So pick concurrent agents. We have 25,001 agents. What does this all mean? And look at this. They're trying to create something we call a search and discovery mechanism. Those that have been in the cryptocurrency space, there's a ton of things in cryptocurrency space, and you just can't find them. Google is not enough. There's IPFS standards, so sort of this storage system of the centralized storage system. There's a lot, all those NFTs, all that kind of ecosystem. Most of it is on the IPFS standard, which is from the Filecoin ecosystem. So these agents, these guys are creating a search and discovery mechanism, guys, essentially the Google of the blockchain. But that's not even their MO. I'm just saying this is going to evolve into something like that, or at least has a high chance to do that. But these agents, how do they find themselves? They are sovereign in their data. They are basically, you cannot hack them. They're at their core level. They have these things called basically they have different classifications in the way they find themselves. They're classified into, they have genus, the address, which is defined by the type of blockchain, because they're blockchain agnostic. So they can be on Ethereum, they can be on Binance Smart Chain, on Polygon, and so on. On the Cosmos ecosystem, which even spreads them out more, they have an address, they have a name, you can give them a name, classification, and these are sovereign identities. These are identities that cannot be taken away. And this is an example of agents residing in this free environment. You can search for them. Each of these agents, the way they're created, they have different characteristics, they have different functions, they belong to a particular user, and they aggregate your data to make the best decisions on your behalf. It's really intriguing technology. I've been talking about these guys for a long time. I couldn't care less about the price of the token. Really, I couldn't care less. And that's one of the reasons why I don't talk about the price here. I'm just truly interested in their technology. And in doing these videos, I keep myself updated. I keep myself educated about their ecosystem. I'm not even going to say not financial advice, because clearly it's not. I'm just really interested in the technology they're trying to build. It's amazing. Okay, so a quick summary of this video. You don't want to miss the last part, because this is where I'm bringing out where all the crazy stuff is happening. It's insane. I told you in the beginning of the video, I was involved not in a major way, a little bit. I was very interested in Decentraland, up to date. I'm still interested in it, and I want to show you the difference with what's happening right now. It's crazy out there. It's like these constant events, massive people constantly engaging with this ecosystem. But first, can crypto be used to prove financial independence for travel visas? I found this quite interesting. There could be individual situations where a consulate might also accept other proof of assets, such as crypto assets. Guys, I've thought about this so much. I've actually told my friends that when you want to travel, sometimes the country makes sure that you have to present evidence that in your bank account you have a certain amount of money. So when I see something like this, that cryptocurrency could actually potentially serve such a role, RIP to the banks. Essentially, that's it. For international travelers still able to cross borders amid an ongoing pandemic, using cryptocurrencies to prove they have the means to sustain themselves abroad is a relatively new concept. Many countries around the world are closed to visitors in an effort to protect their residents from COVID-19, but some have continued to allow students, retirees, and others seeking medium to long-term stays through immigration. Under normal circumstances, entrants are sometimes required to present evidence of funds, both to show they have the necessary savings to provide for themselves and are less likely to work illegally. The definition of this evidence of funds or proof of funds can be fluid, but usually entails a bank statement, exactly, a line of credit, or simply showing an immigration officer cash holdings. And guys, I've done all of this. So that's why I'm excited about this preposition. However, of the 195 recognized countries on the planet, some have hinted they are open to accepting cryptocurrencies as proof of financial sufficiency as long as liquidity was established. So in my 15 plus years, I've never seen a consulate accept non-liquid financial documents, such as holding portfolio, even if, guys, look at this, even if there are 7 figures in the account, said Evan James, so Chief Operating Officer of Visa and Passport Processing Company Peninsula. Guys, pay attention to such things. It's what they do, not what they say. I do not understand that crypto is liquid, but I do understand that crypto is liquid. Yes, I was like, what? Okay, but I think it would need to present almost as a bank account. Okay, so in the event an applicant would want to use a crypto account, the onus would be on them to make sure the consulate is comfortable with its liquidity. Okay, so of course the discussion goes on. Let's read this quote here. As each visa application is assessed on a case-by-case basis, there's no one-size-fits-all rule regarding the proof of sufficient financial means. As a result, there could be individual situations where a consulate might also accept other proof of assets, such as crypto assets, whenever this is justified by the particular circumstance of the applicant and the intended journey. Guys, there's no more that needs to be said about this, but we can read this part because there's a little bit of regulation here. The United Kingdom's government website said that Bitcoin savings was an unacceptable financial evidence for student visa applicants. One of the consulates from the Schengen member, which includes 26 European countries, that's like the Schengen visa, which you can get and then you travel freely across these countries, but that's regulation. But think about the idea is really interesting. To me, it will be extremely bullish and it will open doors to a lot of things. Now, yesterday I did a video, guys, the Metaverse, real estate within the Metaverse. This is gonna be, gonna be big is an understatement. Okay, so this is one company I forgot to talk about. Again, not investment advice, or rather investment or participation advice, whatever you want to call it. This is autonomously, it's called Merit or Emrit, MEREIT.io. So autonomously earn yield through metaverse real estate. So there's different companies creating all kinds of different models around monetization of real estate within the virtual worlds. Okay, or we can say metaverse, the collective of them all. So things like managing property, selling property on your behalf, buying property on your behalf, renting property, and things like that. I think it's going to be one of the biggest things. So this is a short article that was written by someone. You can allow me to read it. 3 benefits to becoming a landlord in the metaverse. That's why, guys, I asked you to stick around. So the key points, this was written by Christy Waterworth. Okay, TMF Metal Maldives Blue. So I guess that's their handle. The metaverse is expanding at a rapid rate. Okay, opening the doors to all kinds of visitors. Many aren't, guys, and you're going to see this. You're going to see this. I have the evidence for this. Many aren't convinced they want to invest in the metaverse, but are happy to try before they buy. So these can include commercial ventures, which could be very profitable via venture virtual tenants. So may you live in interesting times. It's a phrase that isn't a blessing or a curse, but a daunting prescription to those that tingle with the entrepreneurial spirit. Interesting times for us can mean a lot of things, but they almost always represent exploring uncharted financial territory. Exactly. May you live in interesting times apparently caused investors exploring the modern virtual real estate market to throw the gates to the metaverse open and lose the lock. So basically, decentralization becomes time in the metaverse are getting absolutely wild, because times in this, guys, I'm going to show you the evidence. So on December 17th, 2021, Metaspace Real Estate Investment Trust, I actually didn't know this was about this article. Okay, I mean, I didn't know that they talked about them here. So that's pretty, this is the company I just talked about. They went live on crypto trading platform PancakeSwap. It's ultimately business, it's ultimate business goal. Actually, when I was reading the website, I found out they actually now own Ethereum. So I guess they moved to Ethereum. Collect up to premium metaverse. So this is basically talking about them, but let's go to the talking points here. You can earn income while your virtual land appreciates. So although platforms like the Sandbox haven't been around long enough to really get a good idea what appreciation may look like, Decentraland certainly has. Data from nonfungible.com, that's one of the a good website to look at when you're looking at NFTs. On Decentraland sales goes back to 2017 when the native Decentraland currency, a token of mana, was worth nothing, guys. So a lot called land. Okay, for example, this, whatever. So let's go to the second point. Commercial tenants are easier to find than you might imagine. This is true because you're dealing with the rest of the world. It's really easy to find tenants because you're not just dealing with people in your local jurisdiction. You're not just dealing with with one company looking for tenants on your behalf. You're looking at the whole world, projecting your advertisements to the freaking whole world. It's a pretty, I think that's self-explanatory. Input costs are low in comparison to real life. That's true because there's no actual physical stuff. There's nothing, no elements that are going to depreciate this land. There's no, physical elements. There's no one that's going to steal it from you because it's stored securely. The management costs are just lower. Okay, so remember to keep an eye on the market. That's obviously again self-explanatory. It goes back to my statement: consistency and persistence, nothing beats that. So guys, this is the evidence. Those days when I used to look at Decentraland, you could book a space very easily on roughly any day, right? You could easily. But what's happening right now, there's hardly any space. There's just constant events. Look at Sotheby, the event is trying to load. Thank goodness it's loaded. But before we jump into that, this is about CryptoPunks and all that. Pretty exciting stuff. Look, when you come to the Decentraland events page, the first thing you see is the event, I guess, that's happening at that particular time, on that particular day, or that's coming up. This is starting in 5 hours. You can go to the calendar and save it on your Google Calendar, or you can click I want to go. So it sends you a reminder. If the event is already happening, as long as your MetaMask wallet is connected, you can always jump into the event. There's so many DeFi ape degens diving straight. If you didn't understand anything I said, just stick around crypto space. You'll get it eventually. So many people diving into this kind of ecosystem, because advertising, real estate, you're seeing people FOMOing into all kinds of things in this space because you have to remain relevant. So you're seeing all kinds of events every single day being posted here. You can jump into the events and experience them. So you can see DeFi gens forming into the events to collect things like POAPs, which are proof of attendance tokens. They don't have value right now, but they might have a tremendous amount of value in the future, especially if you're collecting these tokens as the first of their kind within this metaverse ecosystem, or this virtual world as it's developing, guys. As you can see, there's a ton of events on every single day, and you can see the land where it's going to happen, and you can always jump into them. You can say, I want to go, look, March 4th, March 5th, March 6th, March whatever. Every single day is booked out. Okay, so what Mark Zuckerberg envisions for the metaverse, I hope it's a good vision for Facebook or Meta, whatever they're calling themselves. But we have to remember there's real things happening this side. But I think in the future there'll be emergence. There'll be sort of a merge with the physical, with the traditional world and the crypto world, and everything will work together. Especially when you look at virtual reality and basically taking that knowledge from the traditional financial sector and applying it in the crypto sector, but also bringing the new innovations within the crypto space that reduce things like barriers of entry, that remove really don't trust, but just verify. So things like that. I think the sky's the limit for this space, and it's truly exciting. All right, guys, I hope you learned something in this video. I think it was a pretty exciting video. If you ever jump into Sotheby's, these are wealthy people. They sell art and all that. You can check out their website and stuff like that if you're into that, or you can check out their virtual store, guys. We're living in the future, and you can see CryptoPunks. It's a very nice store. It's not even limited access. Now, another thing before we end the video, some of these look at this house, guys. This is beautiful. This is gorgeous. So some of these places, what happens is, like, for example, this room, you could have an NFT in your wallet such that you could see whatever exciting stuff is going on in there, but you cannot enter because you don't have that access key card. So imagine if, for example, Bored Ape Yacht Club, they invented something. Wow. Okay, there's an announcement happening right now. Let's check it out. Let's check it out before I end the video. Okay, guys, I think we'll end it there. Really exciting stuff. Yeah, so what I was saying, you could have an NFT that will give you granted access to some limited places within this space. So there's a tremendous amount of opportunities that are still developing today. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.